Hello. Today we are going to take a look at Microsoft Word Online. This is a basic level training for parents that would like to know more about the tool, or even any district teachers, paraprofessionals, anyone interested in learning more about Microsoft Word Online. So, first thing, in order to gain access to the online version of Microsoft Word, you're going to have to open your Outlook email. In order to do that, either on the Chromebooks or on your device as a teacher or student, you're going to access our Launchpad. And this is my Launchpad here, and you're going to click this icon that says email. Upon clicking the email tab, you are going to get access to this app switcher in the top left hand corner. So when you open up the app switcher, you get access to all of the Microsoft applications. Click on Word. So this is what we're going to talk about today. In Microsoft Word, you have the option to either create a new blank document, or you can search from templates that are already created for you to use. The templates are an awesome tool when you're not quite sure what you want to work with. So if you're writing an APA style paper or MLA style paper, and there are even tons of different templates like flyer templates and even a resume template. So if you're looking to land that new job, check out those resume templates to spruce yours up. For today's purposes, we're going to take a look at the blank document. Once you click the blank document, you get this page here. Okay, so we're going to take a look and we're going to explore the ribbon across the top and the different functionalities. Now remember, this is a Microsoft Word basic training, so we're not going to go in depth in all of the various features of Microsoft Online, but you will get a great foundation to start. So we're first going to start at the Home tab, and that's what you default to. Upon landing here, you'll notice you have all of these different tools, and we're going to explore what some of these do. Okay, so this first one, I haven't typed anything, but if I were to type something, you notice now I have access to this button, and this is the undo button. So if you type something and you want it to go away, you can click undo and it just makes it go away. Okay, this next button is a copy button if you want to copy something. So I can type, but if I select it and click this copy button, this clipboard, I can copy, I can cut, or I can paste. For the purposes of this, I can click copy, and then if I click again, I can click paste, and now I have that done twice. Okay, so as we're continuing to go across to the right, same thing, we have this format button that allows us to format our text. So we have different variety of text options. Okay, so you can change the text. Make sure you select what it is you want to change. So you can change your text here. You can change the size, and these buttons here also allow that as well. So if you knew exactly what number you wanted to increase it to, or you could grow or shrink your text here. The next format buttons are your bold, your italicized, and your underline. You also have the option here to highlight. It defaults to yellow, but if you would like to highlight in a different color, you can select, click the drop down, and then you have all these different color options. Moving right along, you also have the option to change your text color. We all like a little color in our life, so I can either choose the default red, or if I click the drop down arrow, I get options to all of these preset colors. If you're feeling real fancy, you can click more colors and you can customize and create your own color here. So if I wanted to customize, and I say okay, and now I have that customized color. I'm going to unhighlight it so we can see it a little better. No color. Okay, so that's with formatting of the text. The next button would clear whatever formatting I had. Now, if you notice, you have these three dots. Anytime you see three dots, that means that, or this is actually called an ellipsis, and that means that there are more options. Okay, so don't ever skip over the ellipses, the ellipsis. You have more options here. You can use the strike through, subscript, or superscript, or you can change your case. And what that means is you can have sentence case, which means everything will start with a capital letter after your punctuation, or if you want to have everything in uppercase and so on. Okay, so the ellipsis gives us more features. If you've ever been wondering how people create a list of items, they use this bullet option. So by clicking the bullets, I now have an option to create a whole list, right? So I can have my bullets, but in the event that you don't want your bullets to be round like this, again, our drop down gives us more choices. So I can use a list that has boxes like this, or I could change it and use check marks as my bullet. So I have all kind of choices as it relates to creating bulleted lists. Okay. In the event that you don't want a bulleted list, but you prefer a numbered list, simply click this button that is entitled numbering. And now when I click enter, I have a numbered list. So do you see that? I'm going to take this formatting off so we can continue to explore. We've looked at our different list options. So the next thing allows us to indent or decrease or increase our indent. So do you notice how these options are indented slightly to the right? If I click the decrease indent or increase indent, see how that brings it over to the right? Or I can bring that indent back over to the left. Okay. The last formatting button is our text alignment. So have you ever noticed or had on a piece of paper where someone has chosen to center? You don't have to click the space bar a whole bunch of times, okay? The best way to achieve that is to click this text alignment. And right now, I am at align left. I can align center, brings it to the middle, or I can align to the right and it'll take it all the way over to the right. So you don't have to press the tab button or the space button to achieve that alignment there. Okay, so let's keep exploring. These options here are um, preset formatting. So right now we are on normal. There are different types of formatting that give you a different look. I like to keep it at normal so that I can play with it how I want. So remember, if I wanted this to go back the way I wanted, I can always just click undo. See, it's taking it back just the way it was. Okay. Now, I also want to show you a couple things that are also very helpful as it relates to Microsoft Word Online. The find feature. This document doesn't really have a lot, but if you had a lot of words on this document, I could click the find button and text the word I was looking for. So I want to look for the word Friday because I know it's there. And when I type that word and click enter, notice how it's highlighted that word for me. So again, not so important in a document that doesn't have a lot of words, but if you were looking for a certain item or a certain word in a paper, that would help you locate it a little bit faster than scrolling through the entire document. Okay. Also in Microsoft Online, this is an awesome feature. It's called Dictate. If I click Dictate, it's going to ask me to have permission to use my microphone. I'm going to click Allow. And once I click Allow, you notice that there is a microphone that pops up. And now what is happening is everything that I am speaking, Microsoft is dictating here on my document. So I'm going to click Stop Dictation. But this is an awesome tool for maybe you have a student that struggles to type and maybe they're typing slowly or they have a paper they have to write. The dictation is a great tool to help those students or even yourself. Now, something that you want to notice Do you see these squiggly lines? That means that we have some errors. And if I click on them, it'll give me a suggestion. It might be a spelling error. Here, this is a grammatical error. It's telling me that I need to capitalize this. So if I click it and I drop down, it gives me some suggestions and I can choose that, right? I always tell my students that if there is a squiggle line under your writing, you might want to look and address it. It may be something that Microsoft has identified as an error. Now, my name is Ijama, and Ijama, sometimes, depending on what I've made my computer recognize, but sometimes names or places or different things may not be recognized, and it might give you an error. Okay, so if it does, I can click that and add it to the dictionary and it will recall that item for me. It will remember and it won't mark it as wrong with the red line. Okay, so those are all the things we're going to explore under the Home tab. Okay, now we're going to go over to the Insert tab. And under Insert, we have options to all types of awesome things here. So I can use the table feature, which will allow me to insert a table. So I click, and this space allows me to insert the type of table. So maybe I just want a 3x3 table, and notice how it inserts it here. Now, you'll notice that once you insert a table, you get some formatting options for your table here. So how do I want it to be aligned? See how it aligns in the center like we discussed before. And then you have all these different options to change the color of your table or the text in your table and so forth. These options will be discussed in a more advanced tutorial about Microsoft Word. But if we go back to the insert option, we also have the option to insert a picture. So if I click picture, I get some options. I can insert from my device, meaning I have it saved to this machine, or stock images or Bing pictures. Bing is a search engine similar to Google. So if I just wanted to see, if I wanted a picture of, let's say, apples, then do you see, notice I can click that, click the button that it says insert, and it's going to drop my picture of an apple right here. Okay, might take a little while, so we'll keep going. So you have options. You can either use web pictures straight from Bing, or if you found a picture on Google or somewhere else that you would rather use, you could save it to your device and upload it here. So that's how you insert a picture. The next option is drawing. So under drawing, that allows you to insert various shapes. So if I wanted to insert all these, look at all these different shapes that we have. So I want to insert a square. I would draw my square here. And then, of course, if you notice, anytime I insert something, I have the option to change its format. So I can change the color of it. I can change the shape outline of it. So I want it to be outlined in red. And then that's it. That's all I want to change. So if I save and close, it's going to drop it right there. Okay. It's getting a little crowded. So I'm going to delete some of these options here. Okay. So we were on our insert tab. We've looked at tables. We've inserted pictures and drawings. And now we are going to insert page numbers. So let's take a look at that. If I wanted to insert a page number, right now I only have one page, but I have an option of where, if you ever wondered how people got their pages numbered, well, this is the way to go about it. I can have my pages numbered at the bottom right hand corner, and right there it's showing me where my page number would live. I want it to be right there. See it right there? It's exactly where I want it to be. And so when I click over here on my options, I can say if I want it to be the same everywhere on the document. Do I want my first page different? You have all those options when numbering your pages. So that's a great tool. Okay. Let's move on. This next button allows you to insert various symbols. So there are mathematic symbols here. There are all types of symbols, greater than, less than, all of those. And if you weren't able to see the symbol you were looking for, if you click more symbols, you have access to more. So you can find different symbols there. You also have the wonderful emojis you can insert. So all of these things live under insert. If you wanted to insert a header or a footer, you would click that and type your header or footer that you wanted there. Okay? Wonderful. So then it shows you what your header is. It shows us what our footer is, which was our page number. Okay, so now let's keep pushing. For the purpose of today, remember, today is our basic training. I also wanted to show you guys layout. Sometimes you may have to change the margins of your document. So that lives under the layout tab. When I click layout and the drop down for margins, these are preset margins that Microsoft Word has enabled for us. So it defaults to 1 inch all the way around, but I can have narrow, moderate, wide. And what a margin does is controls the amount of space that you have to actually put content on your page. So to show you, let's show you what wide margins. So see how it brought everything in? Let's look at narrow ones. And now it has a skinnier border around that. So that controls your margins. I typically leave them set at normal. Okay. Now, right now, we are in portrait view. But if you wanted to change the orientation of your paper, you could, remember, under layout, click orientation, and I can change my paper to be landscape. Okay. And what that does is turn my paper on its side. Okay. If you had to change the size of your paper, you could go here. Most paper that we use typically is 8.5 by 11 inches. So we'll leave that alone. And we'll leave these options alone. These are spacing options. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to discuss or review today was the review tab. The review tab gives us the option to find out about our word count. That's my favorite thing here. So I can see how many words I have on my page. But it also shows us that down here in the bottom left-hand corner. Okay. The other thing I wanted to show you guys or make mention of, notice up here at the top left-hand corner, I have a document. I haven't given it a name. So I can come here and type and give it a name. First Fridays. And then I click enter, and this is showing me where this document is going to save. Okay. The other thing, Word Online is a great tool because do you notice how this says saved? It has been automatically saving my document to my OneDrive. So students have access to their OneDrives as well, and it's saving this document there as I type. So when I start to make edits, it's saying saving, and when I'm done, it'll say, or when it's done saving, it'll say saved up here. So a great way to keep track of your edits. You remember back in the day, or if you're using the desktop version, you would have to click save every time you made changes, but this saves automatically for you. Okay. So we have taken a dive, a beginner's guide to Microsoft Line online. Now, this is the online version. You may be familiar with using a desktop version. So it's the best way for me to compare is when you use, let's just say Facebook. If you're a social media friend and you use Facebook, the app gives you different options than if you were to go to Facebook on the web. Okay. So this is the online version. It's the edited version as compared to the desktop version. Okay. For students have access to the online version as they are using Chromebooks. So just an FYI, you won't find a Word icon on a desktop of a Chromebook, but students do have access to Word by launching my Launchpad and clicking on their email and going to the app switcher like we did at the beginning of this training. I hope that this was information, some great information for you. Remember to tune in to First Fridays for more tutorials about both Microsoft and Google tools. Have a great day.